Gemini, welcome back. We're gonna get right into it. So this is gonna be the extended to your monthly reading. Um, for this one, we're gonna take a deeper look into this inner child that we were speaking about. Um, I'm not even 1,000% sure what exactly we're looking for, but I think we're really looking for like how you can better serve the needs of this child in a healthy way, which I think you guys are already trying to do now, but it's like maybe we can help y'all get a little bit more context. So, of course, this is for a large collective of people. There are lots of Geminis in the world, so this reading is not going to resonate for every single Gemini out there, okay? Um, we might get some specifics, even if like the reading is resonating for you, and then you hear something specific and it doesn't sound like it's for you. It doesn't mean that the reading isn't yours. It just means leave that thing for whoever it's meant for. Okay, so during your shuffle, I saw the Queen of Swords, and the first word that came to mind was radical. So I don't know if there's something about your childhood or something that's happened specifically that you feel like has radicalized you as an adult and is pushing you to speak up and use your voice. So that could be that some of you guys, maybe you're going to be writing a book, maybe this is a memoir, maybe you're going to become a public speaker, maybe you're speaking specifically about childhood trauma. Maybe some of you guys are going into the field of psychology and you want to work with children specifically. Maybe you guys want to teach, but there's something about speaking up and speaking out. Maybe this is confrontation of people from your childhood or like the father figure we mentioned. I noticed too that we weren't getting a lot of like feminine energy. So I don't know if for some of you, your mother figure was absent from the home completely, or maybe some of you guys had a mother figure that passed when you were younger, or you guys had a good relationship with your mother and we were seeing so much of that reading because it was really like your relationship with your father and that lack, or I should say lack thereof, that was happening, that it could have completely overshadowed anything else good that you did have going on. Or because there's a lot that's coming through. um, some of you guys, like, it's not that you had like a completely terrible childhood, because oh, look at that. King of Cups in reverse again. The Chariot and then the Six of Cups. Um, it wasn't that you had a completely terrible childhood, but I was saying before that some of you guys might have projected a better relationship onto that father figure than what was really there. And then as an adult, you took a look back and you were like, wait a minute. This person really wasn't there for me. Or like, wait a minute, like there are just certain things that this person did that you're realizing are not normal. Okay. So let's see. All right, so now this King of Pentacles is coming out in reverse. So this could be somebody who is just very like money, 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 like opportunistic. Like it doesn't matter what opportunity it is. It doesn't matter if the opportunity takes them away from their family. Like they were going after it. You guys could have issues now as it pertains to people prioritizing you. Like you could have found yourself in relationships with people in your adulthood that don't prioritize you. And that was because this person didn't prioritize the family unit as a whole. I almost said family system. And I'm wondering if for some of you guys, like this person was kind of enabled because they were the provider. And so it was like, you know, don't like, there was a shying away from really challenging this person. Like even when they were wrong. it was like, no, don't question. This is your father. It's like, don't question your father, right? But this person is dead wrong. It's too many cards. Okay. King of Swords. Gemini, this could be you, but this could also be this person. I was getting you guys were more the Queen of Swords. Um, let's see. I mean, the King of Swords is reliable. He is a problem solver. He can be considered like a logician. It feels like there was something that this person did or they took care of, some level of responsibility that I don't know. I'm just getting for some of you this person just being able to run amok because they had something that they took care of very specifically, and like the other parent in the home could have refrained from really like checking this person, or yeah, I want to say checking them, because this feels like this person really has like, I keep saying like because I'm really trying to figure this out. There's a lot coming through. Like this person has like full control, like they have dominion, like a tyrant, but also like a very, totalitarian family system. Like this person had absolute power, and whatever they said went because they were making the money and because they took care of something that I feel like this other parent didn't want to be responsible for taking care of. So this person was only in the house for like the ease of this other parent. I think they were only in a relationship with this person or married to this person for the sense of ease that they brought to their life, but then they brought like turmoil and havoc to your life, Gemini. Hangman under the deck. You could have spent a lot of time alone, like just trying to avoid getting in this person's way or trying to be in their line of sight. And you could have felt like you had no defense, like no support from this other parent. Because I'm not getting an energy of another parent here. Like we're only getting this masculine energy here at Font. So this is definitely a married couple, but I don't know if some of you guys resonate with being a part of a culture where it's taboo for the women to speak up. And the man is treated like a king. Sun. It's Leo energy, and then we have the Strength card. I'm getting like ironclad, like very strict. Because that Hierophant energy can also be strict sometimes too. Because that can be a system that's very rigid and unmoving, and it doesn't account for the differences of all the people involved. So this is a family. It's like a system and a rule book. You know what? As I was saying, rule book. This could also be religion because I just was getting the image of somebody just taking a big ass Bible and just slapping it down. So this could be. I don't really know how Christian people get down like that, but maybe like if it's not Christians, be like Catholicism, maybe, or it's like anything the man of the house says goes. You know what? Some of you guys could even be Jehovah's Witnesses too. So random. But I know that a part of that is like the elder system, and all of them are men. So the women are supposed to be in submission and they don't really have a say so because the men are viewed as the leaders. That's what this is giving me. But this feels very strict. Page of Cups is also really creative too. So whatever this was, like this energy was very stifling. So if this was religion, there could be certain stuff like music or just media stuff maybe you had to go sneak and consume, or stuff that you couldn't have that your peers had. And that's because it wasn't a part of like this person's religion. For some of you guys, this person is not even your technical like biological father. For some of you guys, this is a step parent, because I'm also just getting the energy of this person like coming into your life and everything just changing all of a sudden. Okay, Gemini. So in that last reading, in your initial reading, we talked about you guys like surrendering control right now and going with the flow and allowing change to happen. That was making you guys feel really crazy right now, and I think this has a lot to do with it, because I mentioned that you guys felt very out of control as kids, but that's because this person had complete and total control. um so I think now when you're trying to step away from that control, you start feeling like this child again. If any of you guys watching this are men, since this is the Page of Cups in reverse, I know we mentioned like in the last reading, this person not, oh my god, there not being any room for you to have feelings. Um, we talked about this person being like emotionally devoid. I don't know if I used that term before, but that's how we're describing it now because that's how it's coming through. And you could have felt like that, like, oh my god, does this person have any kind of emotions? Like I said, so for some of you guys, you've never seen this person cry. Like, you've never even seen like remorse from this person. Like, it gives very robotic. Oh, Ten of Swords. If this is a step parent situation, this is just like somehow when this person came into your life, like you ended up bearing the brunt of, maybe some of this is abuse for some of you guys. Maybe this is like verbal abuse. Um, but again, it just feels like a lot of control and a lot of like molding, a lot of trying to take you and make you into this person. And maybe that was because they couldn't find any sort of common ground with you, because you were like this colorful, creative child that just wanted to do and be in flow. And, you know, you had a healthy relationship to your emotions. So you emoted like children do when you cried, when you were upset. And, you know, depending on how this person grew up, because I imagine that they also grew up in some sort of very strict, rigid system. It could also have to do with, you know, religion, but whatever their upbringing was, they grew up completely different. And so I feel like even if this isn't a step parent and this is your actual parent, it feels like this person felt like they couldn't relate to you. So as opposed to themselves like yielding or trying to find middle ground or trying to find a way to bond and connect with you, they were like, I'm just gonna make this person me. You know, like they just projected a lot onto you, and they were like, you need to be this way, you need to be that way, and a man does this and a man does that, because that's really what this is giving. um for those of you that are watching this that are women, or at least if you don't see yourself as a woman, I can get that for some of you guys. These people could be transphobic and like they still view you as a woman. So maybe you were looking for more of that like mass. Ooh. I don't know where that got cut off, but I was saying some of these people could be transphobic, and it's like they viewed you as a woman even though you weren't. And so they, like, you were looking for more of that masculine influence, but they were so busy sticking you in that box. And again, this feels like it has to do with religion. Trying to stick you into a box where like, nope, I don't care what you say. I don't care about any of that. Like, you are a girl, and I don't want to trigger anybody. So I'm definitely going to put trigger warnings up on this video. Um, This person could be homophobic. If you're gay, these people could be trying to make you straight, but there's just something about like projecting, like this, like just not accepting you for who you are. Oh, we had that star card come out in reverse. I mean, it didn't come out in reverse, but it came out in that last reading, and we were talking about being who you are and embodying your full self and not caring about whether people accept it or reject it. I think you have a deep wound tied to that because of this person and the fact that they were allowed. It feels like this person was getting away with murder. Like, to be honest, like it feels like they were just allowed to say and do whatever. Okay, there's that Chariot. This could be a person who doesn't even like, they don't view resting as valid. I don't know why I'm getting that with this Chariot. King of Cups in reverse. Again, we're seeing that so much. Jesus. Okay. Um this could be you guys moving forward, but I don't think that's what this is. This feels like having to proceed forward regardless, no matter what. So this is like, if you're sick, it doesn't matter how sick you are, you going to school. you know, leg broke, it don't matter. This person could even have some sort of like phrase or something, some expression that they used a lot in terms of like forcing you to move or be productive, even when you weren't up to it. So this could be like, you come home. This could be like, you come home from school, you can't even get a minute to rest and put your book bag down because this person is just on top of your neck. Weekends, you need to be doing something. You could be like, but my homework is done, and they're like, I don't care, do something. But not just something, because I feel like this person is saying do something, but then there's like, it gets real strict because they don't want you to do just anything. Like, this Page of Pentacles in reverse can sometimes be like, this feels like the parts of you that are underdeveloped, and it has a lot to do with what this person sees as valid and invalid. And like, they could have very specific ideas of how to make money. Like, it doesn't feel like there's really room for creativity. Like, they have to see the value in what you're doing in order to encourage you. So you could have felt like this person wasn't very encouraging. They were very discouraging, and they were only encouraging of like the very specific things and ideas they had that they wanted you to do. Page of Pentacles can be someone with a lot of ideas. Um, but like, we're still at that drawing board stage, so everything is like written down, but we're not in the position, whether that's financially, and that's because this person is stifling and unwilling to contribute. um we're not in a position financially to actually be able to put any of these plans into practice, and so they stay on the drawing board. And for some of you guys, this could be a literal board, but this feels more like a figurative board where it's collecting dust. Like, you have ideas and dreams and aspirations that are collecting dust, or they were, because I actually feel like you guys are stepping out of this present day. But in your childhood, this is what was happening. Okay, wait, this is actually High Priestess. Interesting. So you could have taken a step back from this person or these people, and your intuition started going crazy. Like you just started seeing and feeling things in a way that you never have before. And that's because this person was blocking you. That's why. Because this person is very like domineering and very like my way or the highway, and everybody needs to carry my perspective. So there isn't any room for like original thoughts. People aren't allowed to have their own beliefs and ideas. We all have to be a part of this system, and we move in this way with this person being seated at the top as the leader, and we are just all to fall in line. Okay, so spirit, you know what? Never mind. I'm gonna finish clarifying these cards, and then I want to know like where is your other parent in all of this? Okay, more of that Nine of Cups in reverse energy. This person could have a job or had a job in your childhood where they had to travel a lot, or they were just on the go all the time in pursuit of, I think this has to do with like their own kind of pipe dreams. They're not encouraging you to follow your dreams because they see everything you want to do as futile, but this person has no problem investing and going after whatever it is that, yeah, I don't know. I hate this energy. Gemini, I'm so sorry. Seriously, like, I really am. Okay, finally, jeez, Empress. So some of you guys, your mom could be a Leo. Hmm. Yeah, this is definitely feeling like this person is not your father. They're your father figure, but I don't feel like this person is actually your father, because then we have this Empress figure. So this feels like this is a person that you see as your mother. Coming out of this, coming away from this, if these people are divorced, you could have a better, if these people, even if these people aren't divorced, whether they're divorced or they're not, but this feels like as an adult, your relationship with your mother could be improving greatly. And that could even be something that's making your inner child really happy. And even though your relationship could be improving, I don't know if there's like a conversation that you need to have with this mother figure about this person, or if you've already had that conversation and that's why things are improving. um I know also as we get older, we have more of an understanding of certain things, even though we didn't like them, and it doesn't make them better or good. um, you kind of just start to make peace. But this could also be maybe a hope that you still have. Maybe you guys hope that in the future your relationship with your parent could get better. But you could see like the only way that that would happen would be if this mother figure leaves this person. All right, Chariot, Five of Cups in reverse. There's the Sun again. You guys could just feel like you're coming out of a state of depression that you've been in since you were a child. Like now you're opening up the curtains and we're letting the sun shine through. But the sun is also enlightenment, and it's being able to see things a lot clearly. And again, this could be seeing this mother figure more clearly. Ooh, there's the Emperor. Or there's something about this relationship that you have to your mother that you're seeing more clearly. Maybe it was that as a child you felt failed by this person for some of you guys. And it's like allowing that realization to come through has been very healing, because there could have been some resentment that needed to be released. And maybe it was just a matter of like realizing this, having a conversation about it, or several conversations about it, and then moving forward. Page of Swords. You guys could be very book smart. Maybe as a child you got very good grades because this person was so unyielding but so strict, and they acted in such a way that, again, you wanted to stay out of their way and you wanted to not really have to hear their mouth, so you maintained your grades. um but it's like there was there were portions of you actually that were being neglected because, again, this person just didn't see that as valuable. Like, I think there's a certain kind of creativity that this person might see as being valid, but this more watery energy that can sometimes be very out of the box, because sometimes the thing about water is that it can't be contained. It knows no bounds. And so it wants to flow in all kinds of different ways, and it just wants to be. Um, and this what I'm getting for some of you people, like for some of you guys, these people had a fear of you growing up and being a hippie. I don't know who that's for. But you could have just been very free spirited as a child, and this person was just so fearful of, like, it felt like you needed that water needed to be confined, so it needed structure, but then that structure was too rigid and it didn't like bend. As an adult, you could feel like there are certain things that you did learn from this person that are useful and are effective in your adulthood. I mean, this structure, it didn't teach you nothing, but um, there was just still that lag. Like, there are parts of yourself that you're now having to get back to, and you're having to make that decision for yourself, because you're having to make yourself see these things as being valid, and having to remember, like, oh wow, as a child I really loved to paint, or like I really loved to draw, or I used to make like really cool origami. you know um I was trying to think of something else and then I lost my train of thought. But some of you guys could have wanted to act. Maybe you were like really dramatic and like animated children. I'm getting for some of you guys. But it's like you lost that part of yourself. Oh my God, you know what this is giving? Y'all ever seen that episode of SpongeBob where he's like rounded out? He's not a square. He's like this weird shape, and he's not himself, and he's not like funny and carefree and like as unserious as SpongeBob is, because he wants to be taken more seriously. Like, you could have gone through a period of that in your life, or you just realized that there was some part of you that cared a lot more about what people thought as you were getting older than you did when you were really young. Like, you were afraid to just be because you were so scared that people were going to scrutinize you the way this person was. Because this person could have been very, very vocal with the way that they did not agree with you, or like even expressing concern maybe to this mother figure. For some of you, you guys are gay, and I just see this person like being afraid of that and being like, no, you don't want to do that because it's gonna make them gay. I'm also thinking of that too, because I know there was that thing where people were saying that like they didn't want to let their kids watch SpongeBob because they didn't want them to be gay. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I hope this is bringing levity to your reading, because I'm definitely not laughing at your trauma, but that is just so fucking ridiculous to me that I cannot help but laugh, because that's incredible. And you could feel like that now. Like, maybe a lot of this is a lot funnier now than it was when you first started unpacking it, but also like going through it as a child, because you grew up and now you're like, that was so ridiculous. That was so ridiculous. The Six of Cups again. The Seven of Wands in reverse. It's about letting your guard down. Okay, so you guys could have had to take a little bit of a trip down memory lane back into your childhood, because that was really the beginnings of when things started to go awry. And it's like you had to meet your inner child in this way so that you could have a nice sit down and just understand like who you actually are, and therefore who you were meant to be from there. And we talked a lot about, well, not a lot, but we talked somewhat about potential in that last reading. And you could have been unclear on what your potential even was, because pages are also cards of potential. I'm gonna take that horn honking as confirmation. um, you could have been unclear on what exactly your potential even was. um, and going back in childhood and looking at the stuff that brought you joy, the stuff that made you happy, even if this was stuff that you had to like go sneak and do so that this person didn't know you were doing it because they wouldn't approve. Um, this is stuff like that, like getting into stuff like that again as an adult, revisiting some of these hobbies, some of these interests. Um, these could even be like kinds of people that this person would steer you away from hanging out. Like, oh no, you don't want to hang out with those people because they're blah 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 blah. You know, I just get this person talks a lot of shit. Okay. And put one more Rider Waite card for you guys. I don't think we're good. I wasn't expecting this to be this long, but I mean, there's that Eight of Swords again in reverse. I feel like with this King of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, that this understanding is going to be the key to getting yourself to this King of Pentacles status. Ooh, I like that we have the Queen of Wands under it. Interesting. Queen of Wands is fun. She's flirty. She's vivacious, magnetic, passionate, sexy, creative, you name it. But she's so attractive because she's so herself, you know? And that could be somebody aesthetically who's very colorful. There's just something about them that they have like a signature look that's interesting and it's eye catching. She's funny, right? She's witty. She's also very ambitious. There's a lot of energy. Um, so I don't know if that's an energy that you guys are resonating with or somebody that's going to be coming in for you guys. Oh, back to this King of Pentacles. I was saying, like, if you've been struggling to figure out what you should do career wise, I feel like the key is with your inner child. Like, they're holding the key in their hands. Something in your childhood that maybe these are hobbies and interests that you never even got the chance to pick up and explore because this person was like, no. So this is like, you now as an adult, you need to start trying these things just so you can see what works. And maybe you have given some of these things a try, not even just to make money. Like, some of this is just pure enjoyment for your inner child to get a kick out of it. But somewhere in there with some of these things is going to be, it feels like a hidden career path, but it wasn't really hidden. This person was just blocking it. Like, see, we have this double sun energy. Like, this person was just in the way. This could also be, if this isn't a mother figure, then this is somebody that you couldn't see clearly before. It had a lot to do with this entire situation because this person imprinted on your mental space. And so the way you viewed the world was very skewed. Because I know we mentioned you guys like running away from connection. So this could be somebody that you were romantically connected to or interested in some way, that you could feel like you screwed up. Also been a heavy energy of that coming in through the collective. Oh, I was gonna say, for some of you, you guys are like, you're not gay, but you were so free spirited and colorful, and like, if you were a masculine and you were feminine, like, you have a lot of feminine energy. But it made this person scared, you know, and they were like, oh my god, this person, they're gonna be gay, they're gonna become gay, they're gonna catch the gay. You know, that ridiculous bullshit that people be saying. Like, it's giving that. I'm wondering if you guys were even connected to someone romantically that reminded you of a mother figure, that you could have felt abandoned by. And so this person you were connected to was triggering you. Well, they were triggering some of your abandonment wounds. And maybe you guys already moved in that Five of Swords energy that we were mentioning before. Like, you've already done something that you aren't very proud of with this Five of Cups in reverse. And you could have been stuck there for a while. like stuck in that spot of just replaying something over and over and over, trying to figure out like, why did I do that? Maybe you guys have an apology that you want to bring forward with this Page of Swords. Um, well, we're not even going to get any more into that because this was an inner child reading. But I feel like we've talked about everything that your inner child wanted us to talk about in this reading, because you guys are already beginning that journey of connecting with yourself in that way. I feel like you just needed that extra oomph of encouragement to say, like, keep going, because even though maybe right now it may not feel like it's worth something, it's worth a whole hell of a lot. And your inner child could have felt like it wasn't worth investing in because this person treated what your interest, you as a person, like you weren't worth investing in. You were just like an inconvenience. You were something to control and mold to make them comfortable and to be more palatable for them, you know, like, so you were kind of like, your existence, it's like this person didn't know how to work with you, so they tried to work on you in a way where you would be able to work with them, which is not how that works because you were the child and they were the adult. And so there should have been some yielding and some adjusting on their part. Um, for some of you, this Empress energy could be someone that you are attracted to or were attracted to, and you're just now starting to really like be able to see the truth about this person and also about how you feel for them. There could have been a lot of like fogginess and a lack of clarity surrounding this connection. Um, and it could have been because you had a very outdated way of looking at things, because this person just kind of like handed that to you. You know, like those were the tools that they gave you, and they gave you tools that were rusty. And they were working for you, not really. They really weren't working for you, what I was getting in that last reading. Um, they were not working for you. You thought they were working, but they really weren't working for you. And you couldn't figure out why. Like, these are supposed to be the tools. These are supposed to be the keys. This is supposed to be the way. Like, this is supposed to work, but it's not working for me. Even if it worked for this person, like, everybody is different. And this is what I mean when I say that this structure didn't take you into consideration, you and your individuality, because whatever this was, it wasn't working for you. Um, Funnily enough, like while I was gone, I was getting that song Caroline, and specifically the part where he's like, "Don't want to hear about your horoscope or what the future holds." I thought that was funny, just because we were pulling tarot. So this could be a very like spiritual person that you guys are attracted to. They could talk a lot about spirituality, but I think at this point, you just don't care what this person is talking about. Because this could be that Queen of Wands energy that we mentioned. Like, you are just so attracted to this person. I don't even think you can hear a word that comes out of their mouth anymore. Some of y'all are ready to just straight up like jump on this person. Um, right. So we had connection through the cosmos, community, everything is connected, the law of reciprocity. You could have a relationship, or you could have a connection with this person that you feel like knows no bounds. Like, very inexplicable, might even be synchronicities and things happening that you're like, if I tried to explain this to anybody, they would not believe me. We had serenity out of exile, exhale, surrender, and radical acceptance, which we were talking about. You accepting, I keep hearing the word divest for some reason. Um, Accepting who this parent figure is and the fact that you're not them, you're never going to be them, and you don't want to be them. And that's not something that should have been forced on you. We had rise to the occasion, which I had trouble picking up. I also caught, what did I catch on my timer before? And I lost the video. Oh, 444. Did I say that already? See, I feel like I'm getting confused. Okay. There could be some things that you're still unclear about, and I think while you have a lot of answers about yourself, there could be a lot that maybe you're still not fully understanding about this connection, and maybe that has to do with like the stuff that you can't explain, maybe the more spiritual aspect of things, like intuition. This could be stuff that's happening in your dream space, or just feeling connected to this person even though you're not around, like you're not around each other. um yeah, on the rise to the occasion card, it was capability, strength, authenticity, and free will. So you guys could have a really interesting relationship to your own inner strength, and that could be because it was kind of like encroached on and like stomped on by this person, because they were so, because this is a masculine energy. I feel like this person felt like their masculinity comes through embodying this like toxic masculine energy, and you could have really not wanted to be that, so much so that maybe you sat more in a feminine, like passive kind of an energy. I feel like I just said the word energy a lot in the last few minutes. If you took a shot every time I said energy, you would get alcohol poisoning. Let's see, because I've had to re-record this a few different times because my phone was dying. It's been a lot going on. So you could feel like you could have a lot going on, Gemini, and trying to find the time to be in this hermit mode stage that you guys were in to even figure all this out could have been really hard. But I'm seeing you guys doing it anyway, so kudos to y'all. Um, oh, we pulled the victory card. That's what happened. Except it didn't happen. It happened, but I didn't get it on camera. Like I got it on camera, but my mic wasn't hooked up. It was a whole thing, you guys. Just saw the number six, just makes me think of the Six of Wands. But this card is very Six of Wands to me because it's very triumphant. Um, Victory, achievement, tangible abundance. So this is Zenith at the peak. This feels like that pot of gold I was talking about for you guys. I don't even know if that made it into. Okay, there was a pot of gold at the end of this journey that you guys have embarked on. And for some of you, it looks different. um, because abundance means something differently to everybody. I do think that you guys are going to be getting back into certain like interests and hobbies, and that's going to bring abundance in your life. But I also think that there's abundance that you're going to find in creating your own family and doing it completely different how it was done in your upbringing. And you could be looking at this person that you're possibly connected to, or for some of you haven't met yet, and you will be looking at this person like this in the future. You could be looking at this person as like the perfect partner. You guys either have someone in mind to build this like, I don't want to say ideal family because I don't want it to sound like you guys are just like idealizing this too much, and maybe there's some of that, but I also feel like this would be very healing for your inner child to be able to show up for your future children and your family in a way that this person just was not capable of doing. um and that could have been something like that really plagued you for a while. Like I'm just getting that really bothering somebody. um like you it's probably, it's like this relationship could have done such a number on you that you didn't want to be married, didn't want to have kids, because you just, your idea of what that looked like was like muddied, you know. Like this energy just feels like, I don't know, dirty is like the best way to describe it, but that's because it just feels like you had to wash this off yourself. So this feels like cleansing. um but this last card that we pulled was gratitude is dreaming. So the manifesting power of gratitude and the law of praise, and it was in reverse. I feel like this was speaking to how critical this person might have been when you were younger. And so you could be overcritical of yourself, but you could also be very critical of other people. You could have been critical of this person. And if not, that's still something to just watch out for in the future. It's not your fault. It's just, even once you start healing and we start unpacking these things, they don't just magically go away. We just now have the self-awareness to be able to work with them as they come up. But you could have felt like there was just a lack of praise. So maybe you have trouble like praising yourself or feeling good about your achievements, because this person could have given you a lot of like backhanded compliments. So it's like they will lift you up and then just slam you right down. You could have just felt like you didn't have a lot to be grateful for, because you were just so stuck on like this person and their dark clouded energy, because that's really what this feels like. Like this person was just like a booming thunderstorm in your life. Like, I mean, super bright lightning that's coming in every few seconds. And like when the sky gets super, super, super dark and you're like, oh my God, it's about to downpour. Like this feels like that. This could have even been a person that you had to hide certain things from, because you just knew the way they were going to come down on you and it was not worth it to you. But for some of you, this could be like not wanting to step a toe out of line because of how you think this person was going to come down on you. One more card. We had ripe, juicy, and ready, but it was in reverse. Poised for success, potential, waiting to be realized. And this is a number 6. This feels like kin to this card, because it also reminds me of that 6 of Wands triumph energy. In reverse, you could feel like it's like you were trying to create stability for yourself and you would take steps forward, but the stuff that you would try and create would just crumble, like it would just fall down. And that's because you were trying to go after like somebody else's dreams. This is so cliche, but it reminds me of like, you know, the theme of a lot of those children's movies, like Disney movies, is when that person is like, no, Dad, it's your dream, not mine. That's what this reminds me of. Just having to realize, like, you were living somebody else's life, Gemini. And this is coming out of the fog. But I feel like you need to enjoy just like being out of the fog a little bit while longer before you try to jump into anything else. Or that's where you've been at. Maybe you've been out of the fog for a minute and you've just been enjoying clarity. Maybe before you... I don't know if you guys are going to go towards this person. I'm not getting all that, because this was just, you know, for your inner child. But this could be a person that makes your inner child really happy. And maybe you're just realizing that. Like, you think about it and you're like, man, if I met you when we were kids, like, we would have been best friends. Which is so cute and, like, innocent and warm, you know, and fun-loving. I just feel like there's a need to get back to doing stuff that just makes you feel good. Like, okay, it's good to create stability and pursue some of these interests, and some of them, again, you're going to be monetizing, but don't monetize every single one of your hobbies and interests. Like, leave some stuff to just be for the fun of it. Leave some stuff to maybe not even be for public consumption. I mean, if you had this kind of a person who was so critical and always giving their opinion, because it really feels like this person likes to really run their mouth and confirmation give unsolicited opinions. I feel like having something that you hold close to your chest and keep tight, that like nobody else can come and ruin for you, it could be something that would be really healing, you know. So this could even have a hobby that my bad, this could even be a hobby that you guys have that is not for anybody else's eyes. Alternatively though, there could be, for some of you guys, I'm getting that there is something that you need to speak out and share with the world, and you're feeling scared because of how critical this person is. You're like, oh my God, are people gonna like this? Are they gonna like me? Is it gonna be good enough? Are people just gonna like tear me apart and rip me to shreds? And the answer is no, they're not. People are gonna love you. People are gonna receive you well, because there's always going to be those people. Sure, there are people in this world that are overly critical and unhealed, like this person. But there are also a lot of people that love giving praise and love spreading positivity and want people to feel accepted. So even if they do give you a critique, it's not going to be in the same way that this person does, where it's like cold and overbearing. Like, it's going to have some sort of cushioning to it. And something that's going to be kind of motherly, which is kind of bringing me back to this Empress energy, because you could know somebody like that already. And again, maybe it took like time away from this connection after some of y'all maybe blew it up. For you to realize that, like, that this person holds the exact kind of energy that you were seeking out in your relationships with these other people, because the Empress is very balanced. So whereas you guys were going towards people who were operating on extremes, it's like this person is right in the middle, in that sweet spot, just tempered is the best word. Like, this person is capable of regulating their emotions. They're not, just running around exploding at people. They don't have a chip on their shoulder. They're not like a victim. They're not trying to make their shit other people's problem. They're not acting like it's other people's responsibility to come in and take care of them. For some of you guys, you could have had a mother figure like that, and maybe you were like comparing this person to your mother figure wrongly, and now you're seeing the truth of like, nope, you are nothing like that person. It's gonna be different for everybody because there was so many different things coming through. But I really hope that you guys like this and that you guys got a lot out of it. I hope that it resonated. Please let me know if it did. Like, subscribe, turn on my post notifications so you know whenever I post. You can see more readings like these. We're gonna start getting some pick-a cards out for you guys, some love readings, even though a lot of these, they really are kind of love readings. It's just that we're focusing more on like you know, because we're focusing on you so that you can prepare yourself to properly show up to something instead of worrying about like what other people are doing. There has been a heavy energy in the collective recently, or at least the way it's been coming out in my readings, of everybody just being self-aware and taking responsibility for their shit, And that could look like some of you guys reconnecting with a person and having a conversation and being able to say like, okay, this is what I'm responsible for and this is what you're responsible for. And I based on this person's energy, I would see them being able to effectively take responsibility for their portion. Like, you're not even gonna have to be like, well, this is what you did. Like, this feels like a very like forthcoming, I want to say sovereign, but just very like just person. Like, they're fair. I feel like you guys view, and if you haven't met this person yet, you're going to view this person very highly, but I feel like you guys view this person very highly. Like, you're kind of pedestalizing them. Even if they're not sitting on that throne, or they don't view themselves this way, like, y'all are putting them on that throne. Okay. That's all I have for you guys, though. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Bye, Gemini.